think what I would like to talk about, though, is surrealism, because although they're both novels set in our world, in the real world, the world that we could go out of this library and be in, they're kind of shot through with these aspects of surrealism. In your case, Jenny, you have the wonderful conceit of Anais as the experiment and the noseless men in the black hats who've been observing her. And you, in both this book and in Tales from the Mall, you've kind of looked at how simply weird capitalist societies are. In this way, you've also said how weird anti-capitalist societies are. Can you talk a bit about how the surrealism gets worked into these realistic narratives?
Well, I think for me, what I found, again, I just want to pick up the book because it speaks more eloquently than I do. For example, I went to the Findhorn Foundation and did some research undercover, and it nearly killed me, my God. But there's surrealism embedded in daily life. I think that's what I do rather than construct surrealism. I find how strange things are in modern life. So, for example, if you're in Findhorn, every inanimate object has to have a name. You know, you have to forgive the name. So, you know, there are the toilets and the plants, and they all have little signs, and they say what their name is. You know, I'm April, I am the spirit of the toilet. Please do not use me after 9 o'clock, and don't put tampons down me. For that, you can speak to Florence, the tampon disposal angel. And just that whole kind of, I find that extremely surreal, and I tried to pick up on that. There's kind of no escape from the kitsch when you go into an alternative community. It's like Alice in Wonderland. It's bizarre. You know, there's a dying plant, you know, at the top of the stairs, and it says, "Hello, my name is Lo Mai. I have traveled a long way. I am sick right now. do not feed me. There is someone very special who cares for me and knows what I need." You just think, give me a break.
Well, there's a lot of humour in the novel from that, but the humour is always laced with a real sense of anger, and a real sense that there is something phony going on here. I mean, were you worried that, does the sort of humour offset that anger, or does it?
I really tried to tone down the humour as much as I could, because it was just getting in the way of like telling quite a heart-rending story about someone seeking the answer to something that bothered them for 20 years, you know, the loss of your mother and the failure, the collapse of this anarchist ideal, the turning of it into this new age capitalist phenomena. And is her mother still alive? Is she there? So I really tried to tone down the humor, but it's really hard though, you know, just because there's just so many, you know, for example, even when you're at Findhorn and you speak to people there, whatever, they'll say, yeah, we live in an eco community, yeah. But you know what? We all live in caravans, and I pay £2,000 a year in heating bills because we don't have any insulation. And you go, and over there, here is the bit that we had to sell off to pay for our utopia. And we call it the ego village because it's basically a bunch of yuppies that moved in and bought stuff. So you know, you're never far away from like, some kind of satirical, humorous understanding. I've talked too long.
There's a lot of humour in the Panopticon as well, but in terms of those more surreal kind of gothic images, I mean, how much of that was looking at that kind of traumatic hallucination, at something that would be real to the person?
I think a lot of it in Anais' life is very close to trauma. It is very close to trauma. The first time she sees the experiment is after she's seen her adoptive mother has been stabbed, and she finds her in the bath, and she goes through, they live in a high rise, and she goes through to the living room, she looks out the window, and she looks downstairs, and she sees a circle, which is actually taken from Elizabeth Bishop's poem where she says the whole of man is only as wide as the circumference of a hat. But then this circle turns up, and she sees this faceless man, and it's the first thing she's seen after she's seen her mother murdered. So a lot of these extreme things that she's experiencing are an extension of the fact that reality isn't safe to her. You know, her daily reality isn't safe to her. And she's taking LSD, and she's doing other things that aren't helpful to, you know, maintaining a decent sense of reality. And to go back to your point previously to that, I was reading about a quote by Gertrude Stein saying that the answer is there is no answer. And I think that is a thing that has affected these novels, that, you know, you can look for an answer and look for an answer, and maybe there is actually no answer. And at the start of the Panopticon, really, I thought, in this character, is it possible to achieve autonomy if an entire body of society says that you're bad or there's something wrong with you because of the environment you grew up in? Is it possible to reclaim who you are and go and take the life you wanted to? And really that question begins at the end of the novel, and there is no answer. So,
I mean, what I find